Hey everyone, and welcome to week 3. Thank you guys so much for participating in last week's discussion board. I'll be going through those very shortly and grading those and updating your grades up until this point of the semester. So with week 3, what we're going to be focusing on is learning from the experts, as you've seen from the module heading. And what I mean by that is we're going to be watching some professional presentations, focusing on TED Talk presentations. And what you're going to be doing is watching some of those and analyzing them based upon the execution of the presentation. So really looking at how do the experts do it, how do they speak during their presentations, what do their visual aids look like, all of these different factors, which I'll go over in just a minute, and seeing how they do it and seeing how you can apply some of those techniques and those skills into your own speaking as we're going to be getting in through the rest of the semester. So let's go over to the platform, take a look at Canvas, and take a look at this week's module. Okay, so here we are in Canvas. So you want to navigate over to Modules, and then scroll on down to Learning from the Experts because we're on Module 3, Week 3, and click on the assignment here. And then here is what the assignment looks like. And remember that this assignment is going to be due by this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just in case anyone's in a different time zone. So like I mentioned before, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning from professional speakers. So watching some TED Talks and learning from those. If you're not familiar with TED, let me go over here and we can go to TED.com. And you'll see here on TED.com, if you're not familiar with it, TED.com is, well, TED Talks essentially are presentations that are anywhere between like 7 minutes and 20 minutes. It's kind of the range of them. They're usually an average of 10 to 12 minutes. And they're on any topic you can imagine. There's thousands and thousands of them. So whatever you are interested in, you might want to focus on that. So let's see. Let me scroll down here a little bit. So thinking about education, there's things in here about gaming, about film, about breaking bad habits and kind of like things to help you out with your everyday life, kind of like some self-help types of things. A nerd's guide to learning everything online, that seems really interesting. A lot of health stuff, so brain exercises, emotional intelligence, whatever you can imagine, it's going to be there. So for example, you could come up here and click this, and you could click on video gaming, search for video gaming, and scroll down here and there's like playlists and playlists of stuff on video gaming. So whatever your interests are, you can definitely find something based upon that interest. So what you'll do is, let me navigate back over here. What you're going to do is choose 2 of those TED Talks to watch. They don't have to be on the same subject. They can be on whatever you are interested in. Could be on 2 totally different subjects, could be on the same subject, could be I would prefer you to pick 2 different speakers. So please 2 different speakers, but they can be speaking on similar topics if you would like. So go to TED.com, choose 2 different TED Talks and watch each one of those TED Talks. And then what I would like for you to do is to write an analysis of each one of those TED Talks. So 2 separate analyses, but based upon the TED Talks that you watched. And I've provided some prompts here for you. Let me highlight those. So just thinking about why did you like the presentation? Why was it appealing? How did the speaker draw you in? Was there something special about this presentation that really evoked some emotion out of you? I want you to write your presentation based upon the execution of the presentation. So not based upon the content. I don't want you to give a summary of the content. I want you to analyze the execution of the presentation. So how did the person present? How did they use a visual aid? How did they use nonverbals? How did they use body language? How did they use all of these things within their presentation, the tone of their voice, these sorts of things within their presentation in order to make it a good presentation or a bad presentation. Sometimes you'll watch a presentation that you didn't really like that much, and that's okay too. This doesn't have to be so positive. You could watch one and be like, whoa, this presentation was so boring. The person doing it didn't use a visual aid, and I really like presentations that use visual aids and that sort of thing. So that's, that is your choice to do that as well. And then scrolling down, so after you've written out this analysis, I would like for you to present your analysis in a slideshow format. So using PowerPoint, Google Slides, Keynote, whatever it is that you like to use, I would like for you to create your analysis in a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll scroll down here and show you some examples. So for example, right here you can see that this person did their analysis here and then provided some images and it provided interesting background, that sort of thing. Kind of scrolling down more. And you guys can review these on your own as well, but just kind of some examples of how students have used the written analysis and combine that with some visual elements in order to make a presentation for this assignment, okay? So let me scroll up a little bit more. So like I said, you can use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Keynote, whatever it is that you like to use, or some people, if you're an Adobe person, you could use InDesign, for example. So create a slideshow presentation for your analysis, and it doesn't all have to be in one slide. Like you don't have to use one slide for one analysis. You can have it go over multiple slides if you would like to do that. And then what I would like for you to do is whatever program you use to create this analysis, if you would save your presentation as a PDF. So let's say you're using PowerPoint, go into PowerPoint, go to save it as a PDF, and then submit your presentation as a PDF. That would be really helpful just for me on my end, because then I can open up everyone's presentations and not have to, if I'm using a different version of it or whatever, there won't be any conflict there. So making sure that you are submitting your presentation as a PDF, that is really, really important, okay? So there is just some examples again, and those will be right there on the module for you to review as well. So just keep in mind that I'm looking for you guys to provide an analysis of the execution of the presentation and not a summary of the overall content of the presentation. You can mention some things in there to say, this person talked about the cardiovascular system and they showed a diagram of the cardiovascular system that was a 3D diagram, and it was really good to see that because it made the presentation come alive or made the presentation more realistic. You can talk about the content but connect it to something that was part of the execution, if that makes sense. So to make that connection there. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about this assignment, please let me know, and I will help you out with that as best I can, and I will see you guys next week. Good luck with your assignment.